Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another TSW and SD cyclone update tonight, the 13th of April 2014. My name is Nathan Donnelly, and tonight we're going to continue our watch of Tropical Cyclone Ita. As of 8 or 7 o'clock this evening, that's Sunday, the 13th of April, we can see that Cyclone Ita has now um, moved down the coast and is now sitting here around in this Hamilton Island or Hayman Island sort of area, bringing a lot of rain onto Brampton Island, also Prudhoe Island, and Mackay as well. So basically, the tropical cyclone Ida has picked up a little bit of speed throughout the day, and as I said, now sitting over here between the Bowen and the Mackay area. We have now a look at the tropical cyclone forecast track map. This is of as of 2 minutes past 7 this evening, and the Bureau of Meteorology is saying that, as we just said, the the centre of the cyclone, the Category 1 cyclone, is sitting here just off the coast of Proserpine between Bowen and Mackay. Expected to continue in a southeasterly direction and move away from the Queensland coast. And as of 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, it is expected that Ida will be well off the coast here in the St. Lawrence area. Having a look now at the infrared colorization view or image of tropical cyclone Ita, and we can see that over the course of today that she certainly has moved down, pretty much hugging the coast all the way, now sitting here between Bowen and Mackay, and still some quite red looking clouds here, but nothing like what it was as it did approach the coast. So there's no black spots, which means that this system has certainly de-intensified since hitting the coast, and as I said, now sitting over here near that Bowen, Proserpine, and Mackay region. If we now have a look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre's forecast track map for Cyclone Ita, and we can see that really has de-intensified here just off the coast, exactly where it is now between Bowen and Mackay, and it continues to adopt this southeasterly track and comes off the coast once again, still continuing in that southeasterly track further and further away from the Queensland coast, and pretty much out there towards around the New Zealand direction. If we now look at what Ida looked like on the satellite imagery as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, and we can see that there is still that circulation happening within the cloud. No really distinct eye for the system whatsoever. But yes, it's just sitting there on the coast there between Bowen and Mackay, as we've said, and yeah, just continuing to hug the coast, continuing to produce a lot of rainfall anywhere to its south. Still a lot of wind, up to about 95 kilometres an hour near its centre. But then, as the northern wall comes through, as we saw in Townsville today, not a lot of wind associated with it or rainfall. So definitely a lot of its activity is on its southern side. If we now have a look at this spaghetti models and what they're saying that the forecast track map for this system will be, and well, it's no big surprise because we have been saying it over the past few days that most of the model members are saying that this system will continue down in that southeasterly track. Some do have it a bit closer to land and just being overland a little bit more than what these outliers are saying. But as you can see, this green line here, which is the mean of most of the models, saying that definitely from about here on in, this cyclone is set to come off the coast in this southeasterly direction and continue moving away from the Queensland coast. If we now have a look at the wind shear conditions of this system, and as we know, the system at the moment sitting sort of in this region here, we can see that we've got this pinkish type color here, just just to the northern edge of the system, which is pretty good shear conditions. But as you can see, this system is expected to track into these more yellowy and orangey or bluey and green type colors, which means that there's an increase of wind shear for this system. If we now have a look over the next few hours as to what this wind shear is likely to do, and as you can see, this yellow stuff pretty much kind of comes up and destroys the system over the next few hours. So looks as though wind shear could be the uh, the definitive factor here for this system to de-intensify completely into a tropical low, certainly over the next few hours. Relative humidity is not a factor for this system whatsoever. You can see we've got this pinkish color all around where the system is at the moment here between Bowen and Mackay, probably further towards Mackay than Bowen, and it's just all this pink stuff is well, actually, it could be a bit of a factor. Sorry, I'm sort of being a bit confused here. Yes, this system could have a problem here with the relative humidity because this pink stuff is not what these cyclones like. They like this blue stuff here, and as you can see, that blue stuff has moved away from the system somewhat. If we now look at what's going to happen over the next few hours, and we can see that that pink colouring or that dry air just really comes in and swamps this system as it moves to the southeast, may get into more favourable conditions as it heads way out off the coast of Queensland, down here off the coast of the Sunshine Coast. But by that time, the system has well moved off the Queensland coast and not expected to affect us um, in the foreseeable future. Now, if we have a look at the European model and where they're predicting that this system will go, we can see here at 9 o'clock that it's just to the northeast of Rockhampton and off the coast there, spinning around there a little bit. We now move into Monday morning at 6 a.m. and that system has continued to move southeasterly away from the coast. Then by Monday night at 6 p.m. well off the coast, still could be impacting the coast here with these strong winds here around the Hervey Bay, Maryborough, Sunshine coast, but nothing like what Townsville and Cooktown and those places have experienced over the past 48 to 72 hours. We look into Tuesday morning and we can see that pretty much this system has said its last goodbyes to the Queensland coast and is now moving in that southeasterly direction off the coast of Queensland. Now, if we have a look at the predicted precipitation from this system according to the European model, and we can see here at 9 o'clock that a lot of the moisture from the system has moved offshore. There may be a little bit here just to the north of Rockhampton, but the majority of it has moved offshore by 9 o'clock this evening, according to the European. We now move through to Monday at 6 a.m. and that precipitation remains to be off the shore. It may be hitting here just off Hervey Bay or to the northeast of Hervey Bay, off the coast of Bundaberg, but the majority of it has now moved off the Queensland coast. We'll just now go through till Monday night at 6 p.m. and again, absolutely no moisture from this system is reaching the Queensland coast by this time. Now, if we have a look at what the GFS is saying for this system, and here at 9 o'clock tonight, GFS did have it off the coast here between Mackay and Rockhampton, and with quite some strong winds to its its western side and to its eastern side. So we're talking around the 45 knot wind strength. But it does appear as if that wind is offshore at this stage. Now looking through to Monday at 6 a.m. and this system continues in that southeasterly direction, kind of following the coast, but just a little bit moving a little bit further off the coast. And we can see that those strong winds, we've got between 50 to 60 knot winds here now to its western side, but the strength on its eastern side just dropped down a little bit here by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. The system continues to move away from the coast, so a lot of those strong winds not really making an impact on the landmass at this stage. Through now till 6 o'clock on Monday night, and we can see that the system has continued to move away from the coast and its intensity has dropped somewhat. We now are not seeing that purpley colour. We've now just got these dark orange, a little bit of red in there, but not very much at all. So it looks as if it may have de-intensified a little bit as it continues to move away from the coast. We look now for Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. and we can see that the system has now pretty much left the Queensland coast totally and continues on its merry way down towards the southeast, maybe heading towards the New Zealand region, but only time will tell with that. We have a look now what the GFS is predicting in the way of precipitation with this system. And here at 9 o'clock we can see that there's just a little bit of the dark blue here, which is between 0.25 of a mil of rain just off the coast there north of Rockhampton. But the majority of its moisture is now off land. We go now through to Monday at 6 a.m. and we can see that a lot of the moisture from this system is now well offshore. I'm not quite sure what's happening with my models there. Just let me bring this back a few frames. So here we are, 6 o'clock Monday morning. And no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. The moisture, models. The moisture, it could be just hitting here around the Harvey Bay, Bundaberg area, but not real intense rainfall. It's probably around the moderate sort of range from this system. We now look through till Monday at 6 p.m. and we can see that the moisture is now pretty much left the Queensland coast, and so has the system. If we now have a look at the current wind surface level, and we see something a little bit interesting with this vision, and I'll just get my marker here. Yes, we can see that we've got tropical cyclone Ita just sitting just in the coast there, but we also have this low pressure system sitting down here a bit further to the southeast. Not expected to really do anything, this system down here. There may be a bit of emergence between this system down here and cyclone Ita, but as I said, not really expected to do a lot, those two, this system down here. But we can see cyclone Ita up here with still quite some strong winds coming in here off its eastern side onto the coast, but not a lot coming off the land, and we know that is quite typical of these types of systems where the winds coming here off the ocean pretty much uninhibited by any landmass, so they are quite strong, whereas off the land they don't have that strength as much. But you can see that the eye is still there just off land, and this cyclone system should come off the coast here very shortly. So now if we have a look at the forecasted rainfall for the next few days, and we can see here on Monday that moderate falls could be happening anywhere between just south of Bowen down to around the Bundaberg area, but a lot of the heavier stuff has moved offshore by this time. Very isolated, scattery type light showers pretty much up and down the coast, anywhere from just the tip of the peninsula down through to about Innisfail, and then we've got these isolated showers here just around in the Air region, and getting heavier as we get closer to Bowen, and heavier still as we get to Mackay, and and then Rockhampton may also see some quite moderate falls as well tomorrow. If we look now into Tuesday, and we can see that the moisture from Cyclone Ida has now pushed off the coast, and we're pretty much just left with these isolated showers here on the coast, between around Rockhampton right down through to New South Wales. And we can see isolated showers returning here, pretty much normal for the wet season, or the end of the wet season anyhow, pretty much between Tully right up through the peninsula region. We now look through to Wednesday, and we can see that there might be the very odd scattered light shower around the Ingham and Tully area, and perhaps Innisfail as well. Isolated showers throughout the peninsula, maybe some more heavier moderate falls between maybe 10 mils or plus around the Cowan sort of area in Cape Melville. And here on the western side of the peninsula, we've got some moderate to heavy falls happening as well. So that there's some activity happening up there. But as I said, pretty much it's probably not the cause of any low pressure system. It's probably just the normal end of wet season type rainfall. On to Thursday, and we can see that again the light isolated showers are hanging around anywhere from about Rolling Stone to Cairns, maybe some more moderate falls between Ingham and Tully and around the Innisfail as well. We've got some light showers here around the Cowan, Cape Melville area, and this western side of the peninsula is still receiving some heavy falls there between Weipa and Kawama. So, but the rest of the state, by this stage on Thursday, is pretty dry. So, folks, that's about all we have time for tonight. So, we thank you for watching. Now, depending on what Cyclone Ita does over the next 24 hours, we'll determine whether we will be having a video update tomorrow night. If Ita is still a system at that stage, then we may well have a video update tomorrow. If not, then this will be our last video update for this system. So thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support our work that we do for you, please go along to our Facebook page and click on the PayPal tab underneath our cover photo, and send us through some funds so that we can continue to do this great work for you. We've got some very good ideas that we would like to do for our storm chasing. For instance, we would like to purchase a mobile weather station so that we can give you up to the minute and up to date weather information when we do chase systems like cyclones. And we've got a whole lot of other things that we'd love to do for you guys. So please do consider heading along to our Facebook page, clicking on the PayPal tab underneath our cover page, and sending us through some donations so that we can continue this great work that we do here for you. So thank you, and good night.